name is Tuli Kalelegile. I am the Executive Manager responsible for Strategy and Operations at Trade and Investment KwaZulu-Natal. I also sit in a committee called Durban Direct, where I chair the marketing subcommittee for that.
Maybe if you can tell us the whole aim of you coming here to Bulawayo to have an engagement with the business community.
One of the critical things for us as KwaZulu-Natal is to ensure that we are able to drive trade, investment, and tourism relationships. And Zimbabwe has been highlighted as one of our top trading partners as well as our top tourism partners, and therefore it became very important for us to engage with the businesses in Zimbabwe with the aim of actually growing trade as well as growing tourism between the two regions. So part of the reasons why we've come here is exactly that, to grow trade and tourism, but also over and above that, we've also brought businesses with us. And the main aim is for those businesses to then establish trading relationships between their counterparts here in Zimbabwe. And one of the key areas that we decided we want to go to was Bulawayo as a strategic location for us in KwaZulu-Natal in terms of trade. And we're also going to be in Harare doing the same thing there as well.
How does this fit into the Free Continental Trade Area?
Oh, it fits perfectly well. You'll see that in terms of Africa Free Continental Trade Agreement, one of the key things that they say is that it's important that there's trading between the region. And one of the key things is to then grow the trade partnerships as well as grow the trade relationships with countries within that are signatories to the Africa Free Trade Agreement. And therefore, as KwaZulu-Natal, we then are realizing the significance of the agreement, and we are then saying that let's take advantage of all these things that have been agreed on as part of the Africa Free Trade Agreement. And Zimbabwe as a signatory is also one of the key important partners, and that's why we are here to expand on the relationships we have within the region.
What kind of businesses did you bring here? Maybe you can give us an array of the sectors that you brought.
We brought quite a wide array of businesses. Most of them are in manufacturing. Some manufacture shoes, some manufacture bags. We also have those that are in information technology. We have those that are also in construction. As indicated, we've brought quite an array of businesses. There's about 11 of them that we've come with here in Bulawayo, and they will be going with us also in Harare. Part of the reason again is to then make sure that we're expanding on their relationships so that they can then start trading with businesses that are here as well.
Thank you.
Claude, one other thing, just to say, what lessons can Bulawayo learn from Durban Direct in terms of being a destination?
I think there's quite a number of lessons we can learn. From a culture perspective, we're quite close actually with Bulawayo. And we need to really start unpacking the relationship, the cultural aspect of it, and really driving a lot of information around that so that people can get to know what type of attractions that Bulawayo has. We do a lot of that in KwaZulu-Natal, and we centering around the cultural diversity that we have to get a lot more people coming in. And then secondly, from a business perspective, in terms of trade relationships that can be built, I think there's a lot of learning that could be had between the two cities in terms of how best we can trade and the type of sectors that we can go into that will help in terms of expanding the relationship from a trade perspective. Also in investment, I'm sure that there's quite a lot of opportunities that are here. We came here to communicate the investment opportunities we have in KwaZulu-Natal, and I think the biggest learnings that you can have as Bulawayo is to then say, how do we then properly package these things so that we can go out there and get people to be interested in what the region has on offer.
Use tourism. And as I spoke at the FastJet event on Friday afternoon, this city is completely under-marketed from a tourist perspective. It's one of the oldest cities. It goes back to 1840. King Mzilikazi came here from present-day Gauteng in 1839. He established his kingdom here, and then that tradition was followed by King Lobengula, who set up just south of the city at Bulawayo, and then he moved to the present location until the white settlers came and dislodged King Lobengula, but that history remains. Last Saturday we celebrated the memorial of King Mzilikazi's death. He died on the 5th of September 1868, and in the first weekend of September we celebrate that memorial. And there was a huge turnout in the centre of our city, and it's a reminder to us of this deep-rooted cultural heritage that we have, and to bring it to you now. Where does it stem from? It comes from KwaZulu-Natal, exactly the same as Zulu, but it is, in essence, of course, the same language, the same history, the same traditions, the same culture, and it's just an absolute no-brainer. Durban is also one of our 3 twin cities. I don't know if you know that. Right. And yet that relationship has not been developed. We have a twinning relationship with Aberdeen, Durban and Polokwane. And unfortunately, none of those from our perspective is really functioning as we would hope it to be. So my hope is that we can use Durban Direct as the means to perhaps jumpstart that relationship. And to see, because I have no doubt that there's going to be mutual benefit. I was saying to you that there are many Zimbabweans who want to go to Durban to trace their historical ancestry, but there are many Zimbabweans who love to go to the south coast on holiday. So there's that traffic south, but there must be traffic north as well. And so how do we encourage FastJet, Airlink, Safair, and possibly Air Zimbabwe, if they get more aircraft, to get at least 1 flight a week starting off. Let's test it as soon as possible. So the ball is in your court.
No pressure.
Yeah.
The good thing, Your Worship, is Zimbabwe is a signatory to the SATM, which is Open Skies, the single African aviation transport market. So it opens a lot more opportunity in terms of connectivity, and we are big on connectivity as FastJet. So we're always looking to see how we can further develop our network, and hence why we would partner with Durban Direct, because it's not just about the now. The future is what we're looking at, and how to move forward from there. So yeah, we watch this space, and we've heard the requests of our customers, of the entire market, and yourself, Your Worship, in terms of guiding us in which direction to move for the city of Bulawayo, which we are really heavily invested into at the moment, and